Okay, I admit it. Decisions have been made, and we're going to fix this water pipe once and for all. I hope. Despite our best intentions, things didn't quite go to plan with the whole digging it up, seeing if it worked, then digging up a bit further kind of idea. So we have decided there's only one thing we can do to fix this bloody pipe, and that's put a new one in. So Dad is bringing the bale unroller with a length of new pipe on it that we got from Stoag because we needed 136 meters, I think, and they do a 150 meter roll. So we got one of them bad boys. And I have dug a trench at the far end and dug back to the hedge to put a standpipe in and made a trench come out from that stop tap because I've got the mole plow on. Check the regrowth on this grass too. Crazy. Currently we got this pipe running over ground. It goes around there and it goes off to the water trough, which is over the top of the hill, and that's just running off of where we teed in to the old pipe, just there where that new standpipe comes up from. But we're going to run a brand new one, I think from here actually, and go all the way underground and go that way. Dad measured it at 136 meters or whatever it was, and I don't actually know where he measured it from. I know it goes to the end, but I don't know if he measured it from this trench or that trench, because if you measured it from that trench, this is probably more than 15 meters. We've got the 6.6 on with the mole plow. 6.6 is the heaviest tractor we got, and it's got some proper grunt, not like that 125 that would just stall at any sign of stress. As I mentioned before, the original pipe was mole plowed in, I don't know, whenever it was, a long time ago, with 3 tractors on the front. Dad says, was it 2 2130s or something, and a 3040? So I don't know what that is in horsepower wise, maybe 250 horsepower, but in 3 tractors and likely all 3 two-wheel drives, that should theoretically pull it better, I would like to think. So hopefully we'll get a decent mole through here, and I'm probably going to run there and back, and hopefully get it at a decent depth then, and we won't dig it up ever again. Ever again. It can stay there forever. So I've just asked Dad. He seems to think being the operative word here, that he measured from where the stop tap, the new stop tap is, the standpipe that we've put in. So we're going to go from there. We're going to mole plow a couple of runs and see where we get to. Just backing over the trench with the mole plow now, and then we'll drop it down and see what we can do. I think it's going to be tough. This clay is heavy. Which leg are you going? All the way?
Yeah, I'll do.
Is that the bottom one?
There, yeah.
Right.
I'll drop it down in and then see how level we are then.
Yeah. Do you want draft on or off? I don't think that looks too bad. I mean, it's...
Pull it down in and see how the look mate.
I have now. That's pulling surprisingly easily, he says as he starts bouncing up the clay hole hill. Look at that. Whoa! I wasn't expecting it to go quite so smoothly as it is so far. It's leaving a nice little trench too. Neat, very neat. That's just off. He's going to move the electric fence so that we can keep the cows that side, because really they need moving through the gateway and into the next field, but I've kind of dug it up a little bit. I've made it hard work for ourselves. Look at that, she's pulling a dream. Such a neat little trench. It's got a disc on the front, so it is tidy, but beautiful. I'll tell you one thing now, I wouldn't want to do 100 acre because it's a hell of a slow job. We've got an audience this morning, boys and girls. This is the bulling effer group up here. Look at them. Beauties. Look at them. They're doing so well since they've been outside. They've just shined up lovely. For those of you who are as sad as me and are interested in grazing, they are being grazed at practically ad lib, so 3% of their body weight, no concentrates, just good old Great British spring grass. So this is the plan. We're going to drop the leg down so that we're down in the trench. We'll pull through from there and hopefully go up the same trench as what we've just pulled in. We've got the expander on here, which will make a nice big hole underneath the ground, which should then allow for this pipe to pull up and unwind off the bale and roller and down there. And if we're lucky, when we get to the other end, because we've made a big round hole underground, we'll just be able to pull the pipe backwards and forwards, and it'll just go up and down that trench. What was that? Just fell off. Oh, that was me. Clip. How far down have I gone? Probably too far. There it is. The world's oldest linchpin. There you go. Now I'm going to work out if I can drive in the same place as what I did the first time. Look at that. Baler rollers going round. Bloody brilliant invention that is. If you want one of them, contact Mr. Burge. He'll sort you out. I'm offline. Terrible driving. Awful driver. How's that happening? It's literally in the same tracks at the front. It's just pulling. If you look at it, last time it pulled slightly to one side, so it must just be pulling slightly to one side again, but the opposite side, because I'm going the opposite direction. Oh, it's finding its line. It's finding its line. We're getting there. Look at that, sports fans. What a beautiful job. I have threatened to mole a couple of lines up and down this top headland for no reason other than just to see whether it breaks up any compaction and we get more grass growth, because so many people go through grass with the subsoiler and I'm not 100% sure that we need it. But whilst I've got the mole plough up, I'm thinking about it, but then I'm not sure. It's also a pain in the arse to turn around at the end because you have to lift the leg up every time. Whoa, now we've hit a snag. She's got in the bottom of the clay hole. I've got like 10 yards to go. And she's struggling. She won't have it. I'm gonna have to ring Dad. I don't want to lift it out anymore, but I don't think I'm gonna pull it up here. Hello. I'm in the bottom of the clay hole and it won't come up the other side.
I bet you're on something.
Yeah, I wonder if I'm on that old metal pipe or something. I don't know, but it won't have it.
Won't it?
No.
I thought that part were gone. Wait then, wait. I thought you seemed to stop, so I thought you were there.
No, I've got 10 yards, 15 yards or something like that to go, but it was, yeah, it's got me.
I don't know what you're doing.
No, me neither. I can't be that far off the other line, surely. Well, I've pulled, oh, from there, look. What? Not even a foot to the side of it, but it's stopped. Okay, solution is to take the leg off, leave the leg in the hole, and dig down with the spade and see what we find. Come on out, you bloody thing. Oh, that's really hard in there. I haven't got a hammer. I found a pin. That's gonna be my hammer. Okay, that's not gonna work. Wait, let me think about this. If that's pulling that way, the leg then is pulling backwards. I need to let pressure off, not put it on. Okay, right. Perhaps even need to make more pressure off. Jesus. That's gonna take some doing.
So between there and the disc, that bit came out.
Here's this trouble. The old original metal pipe. It's wrapped around my leg. So we've sent Dad to go get the angle grinder. We're gonna try and cut it here, and cut it here, and cut a chunk out so we can go through it. There we go. 2 bits out, and a nice gap there. We can put the leg through, and the pipe is well underneath, so shouldn't bother us that way around either. Right, let's have another go. And we're moving. Oh, just a little bloody metal pipe, all the damage it can do. It's half an hour we've lost. Half an hour, I'll never get back. So now back at the other end, we've got a fair bit of pipe. Here's the old stop tap. We're gonna tee into there with this pipe to cut that, and then I'm gonna put a T here and a new standpipe there to feed water going that way. And then there is a pipe that comes off after the stop tap, which runs down that headland and goes to the old poplar tree there that used to be. It fell over the other year. And there is a pipe that feeds the bottom bit where that triangle is, and it goes all the way along. After all that, look, it was 131 meters. Found it on the floor. 1, 2, 3. Sitting it.
Yeah.
You don't want a collar on this, do we? Because it's above ground. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Moment of truth. Is it going round, or is it stopped? Okay, well, it's still going round. Very slowly, when Dad's gone to see whether I've got my rights and my lefts right, because I wouldn't put it past me if I got them wrong. Oh, wait a minute. I reckon it's about pushed all the air out. Look, she's about to stop. Yes! We did it! Oh, we can breathe a sigh of relief. The feeling of joy is incredible. Thank the Lord for that. Tell you what we need to do. We need to have a look around the cows and check things are all right. Cereal up the trough for these girls. So let's let them out. We've got a fair few calves in here now. We need to have another session at getting these out. So we took a ton of these blues out last week, and we've got a load more that needs to go out now. So we've got, I think, 11 in here. Well, actually, I think there's 12 because I think one's just had one. Here it is. This is the one we had lunchtime. Look at that. Up and about. Beautiful. And that one was mum. We're thinking by the end of the week we'll have a session, clear out all these calves, not just these blue ones, but the ones in the stabilizers as well. And then turf everything left to calve out to grass. And we've got a shed that Dad's going to go muck out that we can use as a loafing shed. So we can feed them in there, and then we can just have them out into the grass field afterwards, and they can just spend their days outside. This is another calf I've had this morning. Don't know what you are, mate. What are you? Let's have a look. Bull calf. There's a few more in here as well. We had 5 yesterday, so we went round and tagged a few. There we go. There's a few more around here. Having a look. Dysons, they're on a bit of a go slow. There's 7 of them left to calve. There is 8 of these left to calve. I can't remember how many of them there's left to calve, but not many at all. And then heifers up the top, there's like, I don't know, 7, something like that. Not many. They've really kicked on. And we're what, 4 weeks in? I'll take that. That's some serious going. I think we're about 80% of the way through after 4 weeks, which is mega. Twins are doing well. I'll come bring you a bottle in a minute. Yeah, been bottle feeding this heifer calf. Just keep them going because you ain't quite got enough milk, have you, gal, for 2? If you are wondering why she's not in a normal mat ward pen, it's because they're just a little bit small for 2. Hey, a bit small for you, ain't they? She's gonna want her milk soon. But yeah, it's just a bit too keen. I just think they want a bit more room. So they're on this pen in the corner. But when we turn the rest of the cows out to grass at the end of the week, put your head back in there. No, put your head back in there. When we turn the rest of the cows out at the end of the week, I think we'll just chuck her out with those that are to calve, so we can just give that one a bit of a bottle. And then she can have a bit more freedom. She'll be out in the field, but we'll still be able to get at them and feed them if we need to. Next job, tow and fur. Dad's just busy moving this muck out of here. So this is the shed that goes out onto what we call the calving field, which is the one side of the drive. So he's going to clear this out so we can put a bit of fresh bedding in there, and the calves can get fed along this trough, and they can loaf out in the field, and we can put everything outside. I'm just going to go put some nitrogen on some grass that has not yet had any. So I'm just doing the same mix as what we were doing last time, which is 15 kilograms of nitrogen to the hectare. And then I'm going to go and do a bit of an experiment after this, I think, if I've got time, which is kind of interesting. I see what you think, but we'll talk about it when we get there. Oh, have you noticed something too? Look. Let me just take you. Nothing. Look at that. Everything is gone because Fert spreader, no more. It's all foliar from now on, boys and girls. That bad boy, that's the future. We honestly could not see the point in keeping a Fert spreader sat in the shed for the next God knows how many years and never using it. Just seems silly. So she's gone, and she's gonna go somewhere hopefully that will get used, and we don't need it because we can just apply everything foliar onto grass, which is nice. And if we do need to use any granular, it's just better off just getting someone in to do it than having to worry about doing it ourselves. I do at some point need to get the sprayer out and spray off these stubble fields that were overwintered, because they're going to go in with a herbal ley, but I need to spray off all that green first. And this one, this side, this is all going in herbal ley. This is just grass weeds that have come up. We outwintered on that. I mean, we've actually put the cows back on it this spring, so blue cattle are on there because there's so much grass they might as well be eating it. Anyway, this is where we are spreading today. We've not got masses of grass on here, but we're starting to get a little bit, which is nice. Our overwinter growth would normally be about I don't know, 3-4 kilos a day, maybe even up to 5 kilos if we had a decent winter. But this winter, because it's been so wet, we've only done 1 kilogram a day across the whole farm, which is not great. And then considering the fact that we grazed quite late because we had the ability to, we had so much grass surplus, has meant that some of these fields have just not got a lot of grass to toe and fur on. So when we went with the first round, there was just not enough residual here, because you need enough leaf. When you're doing foliar, that's one thing you need, leaf, because it all goes through the leaf. So we've now got about 1900 kilos of dry matter on this field, so we've got enough leaf to be able to go and spread. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put a bit on here, and hopefully that'll just get this moving. I'm not sure if we'll graze this or if we'll we might just shut it up. We've got that muck to spread on it, so that muck will go on this side. We've got another muck heap on the other that will go on the other side of the fence, and then yeah, we'll just see. We're not desperate for the grazing at the minute, so it might just get shut up, and then we'll probably mow it for hay at some point. So, as for this experiment, what are we doing? Well, on, I believe it was Monday, Peter from Tonfer came around to the farm. He was just passing, he called in, see how we're getting on, had a cup of tea, and he was telling me about a dairy farm in Wales that had moved to a Tonfer, and then through moving from granular to foliar had halved their nitrogen. And they were going around doing the traditional thing that you do with the Tonfer, which is a post-grazing round, which means that you graze with the cows, you wait about 10 days or so till you've got some regrowth and you've got enough leaf there, and then you go through with some nitrogen and you put the nitrogen on for the plant to then use to grow, ready for the next grazing round. However, this guy had decided that he wasn't going to do that. He was going to go with half the amount of nitrogen again and go for a pre-grazing round. So he went with the foliar feed about 5 days before grazing. It hadn't affected his urea in his milk, it hadn't affected his cow health, it hadn't done anything, but he had grown 13 tons of dry matter per hectare and gone down to a quarter of the amount of nitrogen that they'd been using with granular. So my brain was just like, I am having a go at that. Said it to my dad. Dad was like, go and stick some on the grass and let's see what happens. So we've got some bulling heifers up here, and they are on a field now. I'm going to go do the far half of the field, which there'll be maybe 6 days before they get there. I'm going to give it 8 kilograms of nitrogen to the hectare, and then we're going to be able to see with the plate meter after the fact how much growth we've got. Let's just have a look at these two. Look, oh, what a picture. All lying down, chilling. They look great. So here's the field, here's the grass. We've got no end of grass on here. Look at that. Tons of the stuff. But what we're going to do is we're going to treat that half of the field with a post graze, and we're going to treat this half of the field with a pre graze and see if there is any difference after we come plate metering and once the cows have been across it. It's a pretty bog standard white clover grass lay, so it's nothing overly special. There's some ryegrass in there, there's white clover, the cows just like it, so it's your kind of average lay. So it's pretty, I would say, indicative of what most grasses would look like. So it's a good experiment, I think. Well, okay, I don't know what's gone on, but for some reason the last video hasn't uploaded or recorded or whatever. But essentially, what we're going to do is we'll come back and look at that in a few days' time, maybe a couple of weeks, and see whether the regrowth is different, and I'll let you know, and we'll just see what happens, because if it works, we're going to be saving a fortune. I mean, Tonfer saves you a fortune anyway, but we save you even more of a fortune Anyway, whatever you get up to this weekend, have a good one. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you in a bit. Ta-da!